Hello everyone, this article is titled Officials Only a Failed Detonator Saved Northwest Flight, and it was posted on the 26th of December 2009. Officials now say tragedy was only averted on Northwest Flight 253 because a makeshift detonator failed to work properly. Bomb experts say there was no more than enough explosive to bring down the Northwest jet, which had nearly 300 people aboard. Had the detonator not failed, then the nation's outdated airport screening machines may need to be upgraded. We quote, we've known for a long time that this is possible," said Richard Clark, former counterterrorism czar and ABC News consultant, "and that we really have to replace our scanning devices with more modern systems." Clark said full body scans were needed, but they were expensive and they were intrusive. They invade people's privacy. Al Qaeda, said Clark, is aware of this vulnerability in the U.S. airport security system. They know that this is a weakness and an Achilles heel in our airport security system, and this is the second time they've tried it. And it's kind of oh yeah, here we go. It comes down here. Uh, in 2001, would-be shoe bomber Richard Reed failed in his attempt to blow up a transatlantic flight with a highly explosive chemical known as PTN. He attempted to light a fuse to his shoe on December 22nd. American Airlines flight from Paris to Miami was subdued by other passengers. According to the investigators, the bomb on Northwest Flight 253, which was en route from Amsterdam to Detroit, when suspect Umar Faraq Abdulmutallab allegedly detonated it, contained more than 80 grams of PETN. The material was allegedly sewn into his underwear and was not detected by airport security. And moving on to the second page, authorities say the 23-year-old suspect spent months in Yemen being trained for the Christmas Day suicide mission. Investigators believe Abdulmutallab was connected to Al Qaeda by the same radical imam, American-born Anwar Awlaki, who is linked to American Army major accused of opening fire at Fort Hood in November. According to investigators, the bomb used yesterday was built in Yemen by a top Al Qaeda bomb maker. Northwest Airlines Flight 253, operated on a Delta airplane, was getting ready to land in Detroit just before noon Friday when a passenger caused a disturbance, said Delta spokesman. The man, later identified as Abdulmutallab, was trying to ignite when he was initially reported as firecrackers. According to the criminal complaint filed against Abdulmutallab, he boarded the KLM Flight 588 from Lagos, Nigeria, and transferred to Northwest Flight 253 at an airport in Amsterdam. Prior to the incident, Abdulmutallab went to the bathroom for about 20 minutes. Upon returning to his seat, Abdulmutallab said he had an upset stomach and pulled a blanket over himself. Passengers then heard popping noises similar to firecrackers and smelled no odors. Some saw Abdulmutallab's pant legs and the wall of the airplane on fire. Passengers and crew then subdued Abdulmutallab and used blankets and fire extinguishers to put out the flames. A passenger apparently saw the suspect holding what a partially melted and smoking syringe. The passenger took the syringe, shook it to stop it from smoking, and threw it to the floor. Dutch filmmaker Jasper Scheringa has been identified in the media as the passenger who subdued Mutallab. Abdulmutallab, who flew from Nigeria to Amsterdam and then to Detroit, was taken into custody at the Detroit airport and was interviewed by authorities there. He was then taken to an area hospital to be treated for burns. Abdulmutallab was on a terrorism watch list, but not on a no-fly list, said Clark. So once again, we have the U.S. government, as in the case of the Fort Hood attacks, knowing about someone, knowing that they were suspicious, but the information didn't get to the people in the right time. So I guess all I have to really say about this article is it's somewhat balanced, especially since they throw this comment in here. But the two things that I see about this article is the problem, reaction, solution, where right off the bat, after the problem, and then the media or the media is used to create a reaction in the public, so that they can cry out for the solution, which is already prepackaged and ready to go. And the that solution here is the body scans, right? Now, they say if it wasn't, if it wasn't for them not having it more body scanning, full body scans, then they could have avoided it. And right now, it's not everywhere. I think it's major. There was a, I don't think it was a legislation, but Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security did release a statement saying that there's going to be more funding for these full body scans within the United States. I think it was only going to like major cities though, uh, around six, but it wasn't all. It wasn't like a law that said that every airport had to have it. Um, they are invasive. I'm not really for them. I haven't had to go through them yet, and I haven't been to the airport in a long time. I'm actually looking forward to going to the airport, but only one time so I can see how bad it's gotten. But like I said, I haven't been there since I've been flying since 2005. So, um, but from what I've read and what I've heard, these full body scans, once you go through them, it's recorded and it does go to a database like everything else. Like so they scan your face and your body, and that's once you do that, then they can identify you, and um, so yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about it. It I like how it did say at the end of on the second page here. Let me just check this really quick here. Oh, it's not gonna move. Yeah, going to this second page down here where it says that the government knew about it. So I don't know. If this, you never know when this stuff is really gonna be real or not. And like I was listening to the radio today, and um, it was a radio announcer talking about when he heard this story on, I think it was the day after Christmas or Christmas. Um, I heard it on the radio, and I was just like, man, I wonder if this is actually gonna be a real terrorist attack, or is this gonna be another like kind of sketchy, possible false flag government-sponsored terrorist attack. So this one's, just like the where you kind of assume the worst, or you assume the best, which is that it's actual real terrorist attack, right? But it's not. It's unfortunate, like for Fort Hood and um, and 9/11 and the World Trade Centers in the 90s. It's not. It's like you kind of like almost. It's kind of sick. You kind of hope that it's an actual real terrorist attack, but every time like all this everything as time goes, as the days roll on, you're gonna have more and more information about this guy and how it could have been avoided, right? But then in the end, it's like a catch-22, or it works out for the establishment, the military-industrial complex, whatever you call them. It works out for them in the end because what happens, it's tighter security. They get to offer more solutions, right? So they get the body scans and they say, oh, we could have avoided this. The government lacked, they didn't have this, they didn't have that, they didn't have funding. So then, they get compensated for not doing their job, right? But that's the way it goes, I guess. So I'll just leave it at that. Thank you for listening.